Hey, Casey Rae here, and today I'm going to share with you one of the best tools that I've found for living a happy life. So throughout the past couple of years, during all of my research on intentional living and living a happy life, the common thread that I find over and over again is relationships.
For 75 years, we've tracked the lives of 724 men. What are the lessons that come from the tens of thousands of pages of information that we've generated? Well, the lessons aren't about wealth or fame or working harder and harder. The clearest message that we get from this 75-year study is this: good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period.
Building and nurturing relationships is one of the biggest keys in happiness, and by far, this tool that I'm about to share with you guys has been life-changing. It has helped me become more self-aware. It has helped me learn to show others a little more grace, which in turn builds my relationships. So the tool that I'm speaking of is the Enneagram. The Enneagram is a personality typing system built up of 9 different types, each type having their strengths and their weaknesses, and none being better than the other. I first learned about the Enneagram about 2 years ago, and I'm still learning about it to this day. I've taken a lot of personality typing system tests in the past because I'm really interested in psychology and figuring out how people tick. But this one really stood out to me because not only does it explain all of your personality quirks, but it also tells you the underneath driving force. It gets down to the root of it, and it shows you this is your behavior when you're more healthy, and this is your behavior when you're not so healthy. So it shows you kind of where you're falling in line on a health scale, so you can know how to move towards a more healthy mental state. I hope that made sense. So how does this affect relationships? So obviously, when you are more self-aware, then you know when you are personally emitting a more positive or pleasant aura, for lack of a better word, because I can't think of one right now. But you know when you're being pleasant, which in turn helps you relationally. But on the other side of that, once you study all of the types, you can better understand other people, why they do the things that they do, why they're maybe not being super pleasant, and you can show them more grace. So that was just a brief introduction to the Enneagram. There's so much to it. I highly encourage you guys to do your own research. I am going to list all of the numbers and kind of go through and give descriptions of them. Very brief descriptions because there's so much to it. All of this information I've gotten off of the Enneagram Institute website. I'm going to link that down below. There are tests that you can take, but I highly suggest doing your own research before you take any test. It depends on how self-aware you are, and a lot of times those tests aren't super accurate if you're not really aware. But listen to each of these descriptions, see which one stands out the most to you, and then start there with your research. I want to see if you guys can guess what my number is, and once you reach that number, comment it down below, and at the end, I will reveal my number and we'll see if you got it right. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading this, so forgive me for that. Enneagram number 1, the reformer. The rational idealistic type, principled, purposeful, self-controlled, and perfectionistic. Ones have a strong moral compass. They are always striving to better themselves, but are afraid of making mistakes. Because they set such high standards for themselves, they can be critical and perfectionistic. Their basic desire is to be good and to have integrity and to be balanced. Number 2, the helper. The caring, interpersonal type, demonstrative, generous, people-pleasing, and possessive. 2s are generally well-meaning, kind, and generous people. They are often self-sacrificing people-pleasers. However, they can easily slip into doing things for others just to be needed. Their key desire is to feel loved, so they try and earn it through serving others. Number 3, the achiever.
I must be the greatest! I took up the world! I took up the world!
They They are a success-oriented, pragmatic type, adaptive, excelling, driven, and image-conscious. 3s are ambitious, competent, self-assured, and charming. They are highly driven towards their goals, and they are extremely image-conscious, too aware of what people think of them. They put a lot of emphasis on their achievements. Their basic desire is to feel valuable and worthwhile. Number 4, the individualist. The sensitive, withdrawn type, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, and temperamental. 4s are sensitive, emotionally honest, and creative. They put a lot of emphasis on expressing themselves and their individuality. Although 4s don't shy away from emotion and melancholy, they can withdraw from fear of being too vulnerable. Their basic desire is to find themselves and their significance, to create an identity. Number 5, the investigator. The intense cerebral type, perceptive, innovative, secretive, and isolated. 5s are brilliant, insightful, and curious. They are always researching and tinkering to develop complex ideas and skills. They are innovative and inventive, but can become preoccupied in the safe haven of their mind. This causes detachment. Their basic desire is to be capable and competent. Number 6, the loyalist. The committed, security-oriented type, engaging, responsible, anxious, and suspicious. 6s are reliable, hardworking, and trustworthy. They are excellent troubleshooters because they see problems before they even arise. They are often very cautious, indecisive, and have problems with self-doubt. Their basic desire is to have security and support. Number 7, the enthusiast. The busy, fun-loving type, spontaneous, versatile, distractible, and scattered. 7s are extroverted, high-spirited, and playful. They are always looking for a new experience, but can struggle with being in the moment. Always thinking about the next experience without fully enjoying the current one. They are impulsive and spontaneous. Their basic desire is to be satisfied and content, and to have their needs fulfilled. The challenger. The powerful, dominating type. Self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational. 8s are confident, strong, and assertive. They are protective and stand up for what they believe in.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream.
They feel like they must control their environment, which makes them seem egocentric and domineering. They struggle with their temper and allowing themselves to be vulnerable. Their basic desire is to protect themselves and to be in control of their own life and destiny. Number 9, the peacemaker. The easygoing, self-effacing type, receptive, reassuring, agreeable, and complacent. 9s are accepting and trusting, non-judgmental, usually creative and optimistic. They want everything to go smoothly and without conflict, so they tend to minimize problems and to keep the peace. They typically have problems with stubbornness and inertia. Their basic desire is to have inner stability and peace of mind. So I realize that might have seemed a little bit watered down, but you'll have to understand that getting a really concise descriptor of such vastly different people is just way too big of a task for such a short video. But I would love to go more in detail about some of these different types if you guys are interested in that, because I love the Enneagram. I personally think that it is such an awesome tool for understanding yourself and others. I'm going to link a few books down below. a couple of podcasts that I really have found super valuable. I'm going to link that website also down below. Let me know down in the comments what number you think you are. Go do your research, take a few tests, and then come back and see if you were right. Let me know because I'm super interested. So I told you that I will let you guys know what number I am. My number is number 9, the peacemaker. Surprise, surprise. I have found it to be really revealing reading up on the 9. I kind of thought I was a 7 when I first read up on the Enneagram, and I don't know why, because it's a little bit silly to think that now because I'm very low energy and 7s are super, I don't know, super energetic. And I think that's just what number I would like to be, because they are so spontaneous and happy and playful, and those are things that I really wish I could be more like. So be careful when you are taking your test and not just picking things you wish you could be more like, and actually answer the way that you really think. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give me a big thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, guys. You're my favorites. Peace and love.